Hi, I'm Steve Story. This is my Knolly Warden version 2 long travel bike check.
The Warden is a 27.5 enduro bike, has 168 millimeters of travel in the back, and it's paired with a 170 mil fork up front. It's an amazing bike. I use it for more steep DH oriented tracks, trails with bigger drops, anything where there's going to be a lot of compression, a lot of speed. I've been blown away with what it can do. It climbs insanely well for a 27.5 with that much travel, and its descending capabilities are near that of my DH bike. Some key features with Knolly's is the 157 hub spacing in the back. It makes for a stiffer back end, and it also allows for a lot more tire clearance, giving you more options for what you want to run back there. Another key thing about Knolly's is their patented 4x4 suspension platform. Their design enables them to tune the wheel path and the progression independently of each other. For a more in-depth explanation, visit the link below on the screen. The second most prominent feature of a Knolly is the continuous seat tube, which allows for a long dropper post. I'm 5'9", and I've got a 200 millimeter dropper post from 9.8 on mine. It works perfectly for me. I've always wanted more clearance, and I'm finally able to do that now that seat post manufacturers have caught up with Knolly's seat tube. As far as suspension goes, I'm running Fox. I've been riding Fox for years. I'm really happy with their reliability and how well they perform. On this bike in particular, I've got a Fox 36 up front, 170 mil, and then on the back I'm running a DHX2. In the description below, I've listed my suspension settings and the volume spacers I'm using.
If you're looking for any kind of where to start with this bike, you can use those. I've found the setup I have right now works absolutely perfectly. I'm stoked on it. Now, as far as some of the components go on a bike, I've got quite a few items from OneUp.
Two of my favorite items from OneUp are the multi-tool and the Carbon Handlebar. My Carbon Handlebar is mounted to their OneUp stem also. The Carbon Handlebar has got a really unique shape to it. It's oval at the edges of the stem. What it's done is created a compliant feeling vertically, but it's kept its stiffness laterally for steering. I've also gone with a 35 millimeter rise because the stack height on the Warden is pretty low.
And, if you like your front end low, you can just leave it slam, but me, I've got about 20-25 mils worth of spacers, plus the 35 mil bar up front. And then, as I was mentioning, the multi-tool is quite amazing.
It's one of my favorite tools. It's quite ingenious. It makes use of some previously unused space in the steer tube. It's got every tool you're going to need in there. It's obviously got all your Allen keys, has a Torx bit. It even has the tool you'll need to tighten the headset if that ever comes up. It's got a chain breaker, tire lever. It also has a spot for a power link. And then my favorite part about it is the tire plug. It's gotten me out of a few situations.
Before this, I never really carried a tire plug with me, and yeah, it definitely saved me some time in having to change a flat. I've also got down below, I've got the OneUp bash guard and their Switch Chainring. Their Switch Chainring is pretty unique. It's got a little mount that goes onto the crank, and then the chainring goes onto that. So you can actually replace that chainring without taking the cranks off. So if you ever want to change the size, you can. It's pretty straightforward. For wheels, I've gone with the Are One Unions. They're a company out of Kamloops, BC.
They do absolutely everything in-house there. They design them there, they create the molds there, they do the layup there, they even build the wheels there. Being able to do everything in-house has allowed them to tune the wheels as they go. They can create a specific feeling without having to wait till the following year when they go to production. It's quite the operation they have, and it's pretty amazing. I really love these wheels.
They've virtually been trouble-free. I used to go through aluminum rims quite often. Bike park rim, I'd go through 2 or 3 back wheels a year. Even an all mountain bike, they wouldn't hold tubeless for me for very long before I warped them enough or dinged the edges, what have you. But these ones, they never go out of true. I've never had a tire even burp. They've been quite amazing, super strong, and they're just great wheels. I can't say enough good things about them. So for tires, I'm running Maxxis. I've run Maxxis for years. I have run Schwalbe in the past with mixed results. They were all right, but got a lot of flat tires, and they failed me where I really needed them not to.
So I've basically been on Maxxis most of my riding life. I've been on them for years and years. To me, they just feel like home. I know all the tread patterns really well and what works for me in which conditions. On my front of this bike, I am running a Minion DHF, 3C max grip, just the EXO sidewalls. And on the rear, I'm running the Aggressor dual compound in a double down. I'm a big fan of this tire. Love how fast rolling it is. It's either this or the Minion SS.
I'll run during summer. And then winter, I'll usually switch over to the Minion DHR2 in the back. I'll still run a dual compound though. I find the 3C myself is a little bit slow in the back, so I use year-round a dual compound. Now, as far as drivetrain goes on my bike, I guess I'm kind of old school, especially with the 27.5. I've stuck with an 11-speed. I just found 50 tooth in the back was way more than I needed. 42, I do pretty well with the 30 front ring. Can pretty much get up any climb in Whistler, and we have a lot of steep climbs, so 12 speed is just more expensive, and 11 speed is a little cheaper, and obviously it's going to be a little bit lighter too. And that's what I've stuck with that. And for brakes, I'm running Guide RSCs. I know they're not everyone's favorites, but I love the Weber. They fit my style of braking the best. Yeah, and I've been really happy with those too.
And that brings us to the end of my 2020 Knolly Warden LT bike check. If you have any questions or any feedback you'd like to leave me, feel free to do so in the comments. I'll respond to anything that's in there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was my first bike check. Learned a lot about making a video like this, especially audio, which I hope to have sorted out next time. And if you've made it this far, thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll see you guys out on the trails.